Hey everybody, Tom Gentile. Welcome to our midday market report. Today is 7/27/20. Happy birthday to my mother-in-law, who is 75 years old today. So I'm going to be taking a little time off this afternoon for a little birthday party for her. Guys, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me first, because obviously that's a big deal to me. I'm in New York. All right, I made it to New York. Boy, that was a headache. Let me tell you. I mean, I put myself in the best position to get up here, coronavirus free. And let me tell you, I got stories that will take much longer than the half an hour we have together. But we're here. Everybody's safe, and it's blazing hot up here in upstate New York, but at least the humidity is in the 40s, so it's actually really good. Guys, a lot to cover with you today. Let me go ahead and let's share a screen. Let's do some screen share here with you. So I have got stocks, bonds, currencies, commodities, all kinds of things to discuss with you today. You know what? Check out our video we did over the weekend. It's called the Honey Badger Option Trade. So if you know anything about honey badgers, they pretty much do, they don't care. They have an I don't care attitude, and they are, and we've created a short-term I don't care option trade. So check it out, youtube.com/Tom's Trading Room. All right, let's rock and roll here. So we are going to talk about stocks, bonds, currencies, commodities. Gold or Bitcoin, anyone? I've been talking about gold. I've been on the soapbox on gold for months now, talking to all of you about this. So, hey, things. I'm having a great start to the week. I hope you guys are too. But we'll talk about both. Gold has been really kind of on a roll. Bitcoin was quiet last week. Finally got a breakout. We saw that breakout happening on Friday, and it extended over the weekend, and now Bitcoin's above 10,000. We'll look at that as well. Earnings patterns are rolling on too. We did, like I said, if you go back and look at, we did a video, and I talked about this 2 weeks ago in our July market update. We were talking about earnings, and we were discussing earnings. And then even last week, I did something called trading earnings before the move. Take a look at those two stocks we highlighted, all right, because they look really good. I'm going to do a follow-up video on those as well, and looking into where we go into August. But today, let's talk about the markets. And so for that, I'm going to slide over. And I'm going to be working on the computer for the rest of this session. And so we're going to create trades, look and see what's going on. Before we begin, however, with any kind of trades, let's look at the markets. So I'm going to pop on up here, and I'm going to go to stocks, charts, and stock charts. All of this, I'm using my own proprietary software, tomsoptiontools.com. And I'll just throw this out here real quick with you guys. We can find charts anywhere, okay? So, you can use your brokerage account or any software you have. But when it comes to certain scans, there's things that I can do. There's things that my programmers can do that just nobody else on the planet can do. We're going to play around with some of that here today. So let's go. I was looking at Riot Blockchain. This is one of those stocks that's like a dollar stock. But anytime Bitcoin makes a move, this thing, like yesterday, it was trading Friday at around $2.20, and it made a move above 3 today. I mean, this stock was up 50% this morning. Because why? Because Bitcoin is above 10,000. I mean, I kind of call it the penny stocks of trading Bitcoin. And so someone asked me last week, if I wanted to trade a stock that moves with Bitcoin, what would it be? And the answer would be would definitely be Riot Blockchain. Okay, and so there you go. That's one I wanted to share with you here real quick. But let's go ahead and jump into my stock list. And my stock list consists of the S&P or SPY, TLT. We'll look at UUP. We'll look at USO, and then we'll get into gold. So S&P. Okay, so we had a couple of days, guys. I am ready to sell this market. I'm ready to sell it. Last week, we talked about going into the last 2 weeks of July is a seller's, it typically is seasonally bearish. And if you take a look at what happened last week, we did seem to find a top and fall down from it. So we did get a bearish week. All right, we closed lower than we opened on Monday. That's great. But what I'm looking for that I have not seen in this pattern for some time, and you tell me, take a look here. See the red candles? I have not seen 3 in a row in quite some time. Let's take this back to 40 days. Oh, and forgive me, I'm not going to be as quick as I normally am on the computer because I left a few things. Back in Florida. I'm actually going to have them shipped up here. So I'm running on a laptop right now, guys. So again, the audio is great, Jack, and that's because I have some of the best internet access in the world. I think the Verizon tower is in my front yard. And that green piercing light that comes off that tower, I actually got to close the blinds because that thing actually shines in the bedroom. It's crazy. But hey, it's good for what we're doing right now. And I apologize for the screen too, guys. It's just, I'm going to try to blow this up as much as I can so that you can see what it is I'm looking at here. S&P, again, we're looking at SPY. Let's throw let me toggle on here real quick. There we go. So this is the last 40 days. And if you look here, I've not had 3 candles in a row. And I'm looking for 3 red candles. All right, down, 3 days in a row down to give me an idea that the bear is on. Because every time we get some moves to the downside, something pulls it back. And this time, what I think is going to pull it back once again is going to be another round of stimulus. So let's hold it at that. So right now, the S&P still seems to be hugging the really the 10-day moving average. 30-day moving average is down around 315, which is where we were about 2 weeks ago. And of course, if you look all the way back, and let's go back 100 trading days on the S&P, and you'll see the old all-time. Well, no, got to go back a little farther than that. Let's make it 150. 150. That should do it. All right, that should take us through. There you go. There's your old all-time highs just below 340. We're coming up there, and what's been happening is we had this triangle pattern. We broke above it. We brought ourselves back down. I say 330 to 340, and I believe that's going to happen with that next round of stimulus. And I think that could be the aha moment for the market. All right, so that's SPY. Let's move forward. Let's take a look at TLT. So I'm going to bring this back, guys, because the chart's really small. And I'm going to just look at 50 days on the market. There we go. Just going to look at those 50 days, that 50-day chart. Now it's in play. Now you can see it. I can even see it on the screen that you're seeing. And although it is a little bit blurry, and I apologize for that, let's work through it here. TLT has been one of these movers where it has gone up and it has made, as I move forward to TLT, it's actually making new highs. Take a look at this. I said last week that TLT and SPY cannot continue to move in the same direction forever. One of them's got to give. And while one is struggling to get to new highs, which is SPY, TLT just continues to move higher. 170. We haven't seen 170 on TLT since March. That's how far back you got to go to see a new high in bonds. Let's move on down the road here. Oh, my goodness. All right, so we were talking about the cash, and we were talking about double bottoms that were occurring around just below 26. And you can see it right here. Here's your bottom back in June. Here's the bottom again in July, at the middle of July. And the last couple trading days has just been getting killed on the U.S. dollar. What does this mean? This means that foreign currencies are strengthening against the U.S. dollar. This does not mean the stimulus checks are coming, although they probably are. The reason why the reason why cash is dropping is that our money, our cash, all right, is there's liquidity that's being added. There's dollars being pumped into the U.S. debt. I think the U.S. debt is now we're 27 or 28 trillion. That's going to be above 30 with the next round of stimulus cuts. And that is far and above what other countries are doing, what other governments are doing with their currency. That's why you're seeing this big drop in the US dollar. This right here, this chart tells you right here, you want to be owning something other than US dollars right now. This is why the biggest position in my portfolio is gold right now, long term. It has been for some time. All of you that have been following me, come on. I've been talking about this for months now. And so there's no secret that all of a sudden I didn't just wake up and say you need to own gold. I've been talking about it for a while. I've been talking about when it was doing nothing, gold and Bitcoin. And we'll get to those in just a moment. Before we do, let's jump on over to oil, which stabbed above 30. USO stabbed above 30 last week and is starting to get the drift back. Oil is actually down today. All right, on a day where the stock market's up, on a day where cash is down, oil should have been moving higher, but it's not. And one of the things that's been going on with oil is that ever since the reverse split back in April, this thing's been on a tear. And it is almost double in value. It is almost double in value since April 23rd. There needs to be a pullback. And I got two pullback areas for you on USO. The first one we're coming to very quickly is going to be 28.5. That's the third. That is the 10-day moving average or 30-day moving average. The second of these double lines you see here that are around 26.5. These are what we call stock chart peak levels. All right. This is something that we look at here at with Tom's option tools of a very good area of support. When you see these dotted lines get close together, where they're consolidating together, it gives us really good areas of support, and that's where we see the support at for USO. All right. Now let's take a look at the wonderful, wonderful spot gold price. Oh my gosh, this thing has gone nuts. All right, I have to tell you, and I mean, for those of you that have been with me now for the last couple months, you know what I've been doing. What have I been doing in gold? Anybody? Just blurt it out there. What have I been doing with GLD? Well, I mean, I'm long GLD. I've been acquiring GLD for months now, and I've been acquiring GLD by selling puts. What I mean is that I am getting paid to obligate myself to buy GLD. It's just a higher probability of what I want to do. Okay. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's pop over here to, this is Street Smart Central. It's one of the brokerage firms I use. GLD. Let's see what put prices, what's going on with puts on GLD right now. So if I were to go sell puts and I were looking at, that would be selling to open. All right, right now, the puts that expired this week, the at-the-money puts, are trading above $2. So what does that mean? That means that if I sell this 181.5 put, that I can collect 200, well, let's do the mid price, $205. Let me just show you, if I put this in as a limit order, 205. And I click on preview. What's going to happen is it's going to show me that I can receive $205 minus a small commission for that trade, but it obligates me to buy 100 shares of GLD at that strike price if we're below it by Friday's expiration. Now, if I want to give myself a little more juice and give myself a little longer term, how about August? The third Friday in August falls on the 21st. So if you take a look here, let's take a look and see what we can do with if gold's at 181.5 right now. Well, how about the 165s for August? They're selling for 23 cents. Not a whole lot. What about the 175s? Okay, $1.35. So I could collect $135 to sell the 175s, and I have 4 weeks, of which, if we remain above 175, I keep what I collected. If we go below it, I'm obligated to buy GLD at 175. 180? Well, we're talking $3, over $3. 310 is the bid right now, so $310 to sell one of those GLD contracts, right? So what have I been doing? I have been selling puts literally for weeks now, months actually, on GLD. Most of the stuff I didn't even get. All right, what happened was gold was going up, so the puts went down. I just kept the paycheck. But there were a couple times where I got some, couple thousand shares here, a couple thousand shares there, and that all adds up. And that's been working out in my long-term favor as GLD has gone from probably around. I think I have an average price around the ones in the low 160s, and now we've rolled up into 180. So, and I also believe, if you guys have listened to me on this one, where is GLD? Where's that top at for GLD? Well, $2,000 an ounce on gold. And where's gold at right now? Let's see if we can get an idea of where GLD is today. Or spot gold. So spot gold's GC. All right. So if I type in spot gold GC, you can see where GC is right now. This is a 5-minute chart of gold. And you can see here that the spot price is at 1932 right now. So 1932. I mean, this is up $35 an ounce today. The high was 1938 on this one. So let's see if I can get this thing to show me the whole price. There we go. So 1932. The low for this morning was 1926. But the reason I'm showing you this is that you get a couple more days, a couple more $35 days, and we're at 2,000. And 2,000 is the first area of resistance. You've got banks out there now saying, I think it was J.P. Morgan or Citi that were calling for $3,000 gold by 2021, $2,500 by the time we get to the election. I mean, every analyst that never even looked at gold before is now coming out because they know that's the clickbait now. Gold is the new Tesla. Gold is the new Bitcoin because we're seeing history here, guys, all-time highs. Right? Where do we go? I think we roll up to 2,000, maybe 2,200, and then have a pullback. But I still think the long term for gold is if we continue, and I said it before, I'll say it again. If we continue to print US dollars, that is going to make hard assets like GLD move up in value. Okay. So let's move to the last chart that I want to cover with you. And we're going to come back to gold. I'm not done with gold yet. But cryptocurrency. So on Tom's Option Tools, we actually have a whole area that we dedicate to crypto tools. And I'm just going to share with you what's been going on with Bitcoin. Now, I got 200 calendar days here. I'm going to actually change this. I'm going to make this 100, and we're going to update this. So now we're looking at the 100-day chart, as you can see here on the screen. There you go. All right. Coronavirus took Bitcoin down below $4,000 a token. All right, we've gone from 4,000 up to 10. This is interesting. Look what's happened here. All right, I want you to follow this pattern, guys. Back in May, 10,000, and we came off of it. Back at the end of May, this was after Memorial Day, up. Remember when President Trump decided to walk outside of the White House and go across the street to the park? Bitcoin went up as he walked out those gates and moved all the way up to 10,400. The next day came right back down. We've been in this 9,000 to 10,000 area for quite some time now. And again, what's been happening since July? All right, since mid-July, we were above 9,000. We've been kind of creeping up a little bit here. We finally have jumped up 10,358 is what I see. Let me hit the latest on here so we can get that. Yeah, 10,358 on Bitcoin. We've had what we call currency waves that actually gave us bullishness to Bitcoin some time ago. I believe I was on here not long, it was a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to show you the chart. So I'm going to move us to what we call a darknet chart. Darknet is a way that we look for triple stack compressions. Yeah, we did have a darknet signal down here around 9,000, from 9,000 to about 9,250, but the real move's been the currency wave change. It took us from about 9,200 up to where we are right now. It's actually done very, very well. Okay, so where do we go from here with Bitcoin? I'm going to tell you what I believe based on pattern recognition. Go back to May. All right, go back to June. 10,000, bam, 10,000, bam. We've gone above 10,000 again. Not only we go above 10,000, but we're second day we're up above 10,000. I'd like to see this stay above 10,000 for more than 1 or 2 days. All right, because if that's the case, then 10,000 could finally become the floor for Bitcoin and all things BTC. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at when it comes to stocks, bonds, currencies, commodities, gold, and Bitcoin. Now, if you're just joining me, how do we trade Bitcoin in the stock market? Well, the best way is to find some ETFs or find some things that move along with Bitcoin. Riot Blockchain is one of those really cheap stocks that that we see that moves around with Bitcoin quite a bit. We get down into the nines, into the low nines. That puts Riot, and let me just show you what I'm talking about. Let's go to Riot Blockchain, and that symbol is RIOT. You can see here, Riot. When we get above 10,000, Riot makes a little bump up. We go below 10,000, it drops down into the low twos. This thing seems to have a floor down here between $2 and $2.20. And then it jumps up to the threes when we get above the 10,000 mark. So what we can look at going forward is if Bitcoin does fall apart and come back down to 9. Now, Bitcoin going from 9 to 10 is a little bit more than a 10% move. Riot Blockchain going from the low twos to the low threes, well, that's near a 50% move. So it's just an idea, as risky as it might be to own a stock that's a dollar stock, or in this case, a $2 to $3 stock. It gives you a cheap alternative. Those of you that, let me ask the question to all of you out here right now. All right, who owns Bitcoin in the room? Who's all my crypto traders? Give me a shout. Me, yes. I sound like a cheerleader, huh? Me, yes. But if you do, and if you don't, you might be thinking, wow, you know what? That Bitcoin, that's $10,000. I don't have $10,000 to put into a Bitcoin. You don't need $10,000. You can invest as little, I think, as $2 to get a fraction of a Bitcoin. Okay? Wow, look at you guys. A lot of crypto traders in here. Does this mean that I need to go back and dedicate one of these shows to just how to trade cryptocurrency or how I trade cryptocurrency? Would you guys like that as a future show, that I'll do a little stocks, bonds, currency, commodities, and crypto, and talk about things like Coinbase, and talk about Binance, and BitRX, and some of the ways that I get involved in coin? I'll do it. Okay, I'll do something with you guys. Let's set it up for next week. All right, so next week I will get into all things crypto with all of you. All right, that sounds cool. All right, so let's move into the next little bit of segment, or really my last segment I want to talk about is stock sector, or what I call sector stock list. So I actually went, and we're going to go back into gold here, guys. So in gold, there's several different ways you can trade gold. We talked about, number one, the futures contracts. Obviously, this is some of the riskiest way to play gold. So I would not even advise this to anybody, even though I'm not your financial advisor anyway. This is just a very quick way to make and or lose money trading the futures contracts. But if you want to be an owner of gold, one of the best ways to do it is with GLD. GLD is the Spider Gold Select. It's an ETF that highly tracks the rate of gold. Another way you can do it is you can look at stocks and other ETFs. For instance, GDX. GDX is the gold miners index. So we type in GDX, you can get an idea what's happening. GDX was up actually close to 5% earlier this morning. All right, around 10:45 and around 9:45. This thing was trading around up 5%. It's gonna have bigger moves to the upside and the downside. But what I also like to do is I like to look at what stocks are out there that are the stocks that we could trade, not only trade gold stocks, but options on gold stocks. So what I do is I'll run through and I'll do something in my tools, which I go into stock sector lists. And I have the ability to look at major sectors, and I have the ability to look at minor sectors. Now, gold and silver ore mines is one of those minor sectors that I like to look at. So what I did was I ran this list, and I have a list of about 20, I think it's 29. Yeah, 29 stocks in the gold and silver index. And we're looking at stocks that are like AngloGold, all right? Sinopra, a Cisco, B2 Gold Corp. Some of these you probably never even heard of before, okay? Gold Resource, Southern Copper. Uranium's in here too, but this is under miscellaneous metal ores. So what I'm looking at here is I'm looking to pull out the gold and silver ores group. All right, Rio Tinto, Newmont Mining, Harmony, Hecla, Randgold. All right, so that's GOLD, GFI, Gold Fields. So if I were to go in and just strip this out and just look at these particular stocks themselves, they may give us some moves for some future moves for if gold goes to 2,000, 2,200, 2,500, etc. How do these folks benefit? Now, another thing I can do is I can take this information that you see here, and I can re-rank this by volume, by liquidity. So I can take this list and save it, and then what I'll do is I'll come on up here, and I'll run a completely different stock analysis list. So I can look at stock volume. All right, let's do that. And I can look at increases in volume, and I'm looking at gold and silver stocks. So let's run that list. And now I can see, here's where all the money is. All right, Comstock Mining, Gold Fields, Gold Minerals, Harmony, these are the big ones of everything that's being bought right now. Okay, Comstock Mining had a 137% increase on Friday. Right, that's a 137% increase in volume. Gold Fields, 33%. Now, you would expect to see these stocks start to move. And what I mean by that is start to move with the price of gold. As as I was watching one of the financial television programs, and what we found was they were all hot on gold, and it just started to spur more and more people looking at gold as a potential play, because now it's front and center on the news. I mean, it's just continually being rewound. All right, but if we were to take a look at one of these, and let's look at HMY. So if I could want to pull a picture up of HMY, I can see the volume has actually gone very well, but let's go ahead and jump in and look at some more information on HMY. Okay, HMY's had a big move up. This is interesting where we moved higher, and it could be the bleed off of the fact that gold and GLD opened high this morning and have pivoted and started to move a little bit lower. That's to be expected. I mean, this thing was up last night in the overnight markets, and it could be just a short pullback. But take a look at Harmony. Harmony was a $3 stock that's now become a $7 stock. Maybe not the one we could be looking at in terms of an option play, but then what about Randgold? GOLD, right? Here's a $30 stock. This $30 stock might have options that make some sense. So I'm going to go to options, go to option chains, and I'm not interested so much of what's going to happen this week or even this month. But if we were to take the seasonality of gold, seasonally, gold is strong all the way into mid-August. So let's take a look at August 21st options for GOLD. And I can see here, I'll blow these up so that everybody can see them. There you go. These are the calls on this side. If I come over here, I can actually look at the puts on the other side. So let's stick with calls. These are the in-the-money calls. There's your stock price, $29.76. These are the out-of-the-money call options. So I immediately could look and say, all right, you know what? If I see Randgold going to 35 by August, and that's a stretch, but I mean, we've seen gold do a lot more just in the last couple weeks. So if I bought the August 30 calls and I could get those for $1.47, what's that going to look like? Well, let's find out. Here you go, paying $147 for one call option. But more importantly, right here, if Randgold were to fall, the most I could lose is what I put into the trade. But if Randgold goes up and goes up to around, here's 35 right here on the chart. So if I move my mouse over into the option, and I move it right over top of where the graph is, it's showing me that my $147 investment could have a $372 profit. That's what that tells me. That's just buying the 30 calls. All right, where's my break even on this? Well, remember, cost, risk, reward, break even. Cost and risk, $147. Reward, well, that depends on where your target price is going to be. We're just picking a target price of 35. But where's the double at? Okay, if I'm going to spend $150, where's my double come in at? Well, my double would come in right about, and as I come up here, about $33. $33. If gold gets to 33, I double my money. So that's good to know. Where's break even? Well, break even is going to be the strike price plus what you paid for the options. So 30 plus $1.47 is $31.47. That's your upside downside break even. Can we do better? Let's do one more as I close this out with you guys. So in this case, what about a spread? What if we were to spread this? Buy the 30 calls. How about sell the 32s? So I'm going to put a -1 out here. 30 32s. Click the risk graph. There you go. This is a bull call spread. What this involves is buying the lower strike, selling the higher strike. So we're buying a 30 call. We're still paying that $147. We're selling the 32. We're bringing in over half of what we bought on the 30. We're getting paid back more than half. So now we've taken a $1.47 trade, $147, and now we've put the spread. We brought it down to $69. Now our upside maximum, or our maximum risk, is what we pay for the trade, $69. Our maximum reward is $131, and that's if gold is at or above 32, all right, by August 21st. So if we're at or above 32, we have 189% potential profit. All right, so a couple of things I just wanted to share with you there. We got a lower break even. The break even's 30.69, not 31.47, but closer to where the price is now. This is what the chart's going to look like. All right, limited risk. There's your downside risk. Here's your break even, and here's your upside maximum reward. All right. So, guys, as I finish up here, again, I wanted to share with you a little bit of stocks, bonds, currencies, commodities. I wanted to also talk a little bit in Bitcoin and what Bitcoin's been doing, and I've also finished with gold and looking at going from the actual yellow metal to the ETF to potential stocks that are out there in the market. All right. So that being said, I want to thank all of you for joining me today on this Money Morning Midday Report. Again, you can find a lot of my information. You want some details? Take a look at youtube.com/Tom's Trading Room. I'm typing it in and putting it out there for you guys, so you can click on that link, and that will give you access to all of our videos, a little more detail that we get into. All right, because I really want to spend our time together talking about what's going on in the markets and sharing with you some of my thoughts on what I am looking at and what I am doing for you, or what I'm doing. Not what I'm doing for you. What I'm doing in my own accounts, and I want to kind of give you ideas of what I see. Again, spot the opportunity, create the low risk trade, plan, execute, and manage the trade. Okay, guys. Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate all the great comments you guys got there for me. And next week, we're going to discuss cryptocurrency. And I promise you, I will do some crypto, and I'll do an ask and answer session with all of you as well. All right. So have a great rest of your afternoon. You'll have a recording on this later this afternoon from the great folks over at Money Map Press, who are gracious enough to publish this information for you guys. And I'll see you again next week. Bye now.